Hilchos Deot Perek Gimel Halacha Aleph. Shema Yemer Adam Hoil v'Hakino v'Hatayv v'Hakov v'Deketz b'Hem Derech Rohain u'Metzinas Adam and Olam Every man be a service rachid. That's how the Achron person can say, since, as Perek says, envy, desire, pursuit of honor are a wrong path and drive a person from the world. Got to separate from them to a very great degree and move away from them to the opposite extreme. Actually, and a person will say to himself, you know what, I'm just going to go to the opposite extreme. I'm not going to eat meat, drink wine, I won't get married, I won't live in a pleasant home, and I'm not going to wear nice clothing. I'll sit in sackcloth and coarse wool, just as the pagans and priests do. Rambam Gamze Not only is a bad path, it's also forbidden to go on this path. Somebody who walks in this path is called a sinner. It says in regards to Nazir, and he, the Creator, shall make an atonement for him for his having sinned regarding the soul. Nazir. Chacham said that when it comes to if a Nazir who abstained only for wine requires kapara, much more so than one who abstained from everything. Now, so the Chacham say, direct a man to abstain from those which the Torah denies him, and not to forbid himself for other things by vows. So Chacham said, are not those things which the Torah are sufficient for you that you must forbid additional things? Only hold yourself back from things that the Torah forbid. Don't forbid yourself when it comes to the Nadarim and Shvuos and things which are permitted. It's already enough what the Torah asks you. You want to ask for more things. Person also who is always fasting constantly, it's also not a good thing. Chacham forbids somebody to inflict themselves so much with kindness. I'll call it one with a look. It's a man tzibur shlema. Well, Amar says, "Alti tzaddik haber al tischak emisa lamat. Do not be overly righteous and do not be overly clever. Why make yourself desolate?" Base. So Hadam shichav limi v'chamayz v'kul neides Hashem baruch hu bilvat. Yeshifti v'kumu v'diburi akril u'mezah davar. Person should direct his heart and the totality of his behavior to one goal, becoming aware of Hashem. The way he rests, rises, and speaks should be directed for this end. Case how so? When involved in business dealings or while working for a wage, he should not think solely of gathering money. He should do these things so that he will be able to obtain that which his body needs, food, drink, and a home with the wife. When he eats and drinks and he has relationships, he should not intend to do these solely for pleasure, to the point where he will eat and drink only that which is sweet to the palate and engage in intercourse for pleasure. Rather, he should take care to eat and drink only in order to be healthy in his body and his limb. Therefore, a person should not eat just things which are just good like a dog. Rather, he should eat things which are healthy. You should not eat things which try to damage the body, even though it's like sweet for him. If somebody had hot flesh, you should not eat meat or honey or wine. You should restrain on the dark marshal. Reshaysim me haloshin afal pishu more shnim zeshaysim v'chol derech hafu b'vak tishiyaver v'yamin shalom. Hoy v'ef shladin l'chis alba chila u'shasiya. One should not drink this endive. One should drink this endive juice even though it's bitter for that. He will be eating and drinking for medical reasons only in order to become healthy and be whole. For a person cannot exist without eating and drinking. Right, there are for he should not have relations except to keep his body healthy and to preserve the human race. He should not engage in bia whenever he feels desire, but he knows that he requires a seminal emission for medical reasons or in order to preserve the human race. Gimel, person who accustoms himself to live by the rules of medicine. So if a person accustoms himself to live by the rules of medicine, does not follow a proper path, if his sole kavana is that his entire body lives to be healthy and that he have children who will do his work and toil for him. Rather, you should have the intent that his body be whole and strong in order for his inner soul to be upright so that he'll be able to know Hashem. It's impossible to understand and become knowledgeable in his wisdom when one is starving or sick or one of his limbs pains him. Similarly, one should intend to have sons. Perhaps he will be, let me just read inside. If somebody goes into this path, he's serving Hashem. Even when he's doing business or he's having relations. Even when he sleeps, if he goes with the intention that his mind and body rests, lest he take ill and be unable to serve Hashem because he's sick, and his sleep is service of Hashem. This man, the Chacham directed and said, all your deeds should be for the sake of heaven. This is what Shema declared in his wisdom. Know him in all your ways, and he will be strengthening your paths. Hilchos Deot Perek Daled, Chapter 4. Aleph. Hoyel ve'yis haguf body b'shalim midach Hashem hu. Since maintaining a healthy and sound body is amongst the ways of Hashem, one cannot understand or have any knowledge of the Creator if he is ill. A person has to avoid that which harms the body and accustoms himself to that which is helpful and hopes the body becomes stronger. Now, a person shall only eat when he's hungry. Drink when he's thirsty. Don't hold back if you need the bathroom. If a person has to urinate or go to the or move his bowels, he should do so immediately. Now, when a person eats, he should not eat till he has his stomach is full. Rather, he should stop when he has eaten to close to 3/4 of his full satisfaction. One should not drink only a small amount of water during the meal and mix that with water. When the food begins to be digested in his intestines, he may drink what is necessary. He should not drink much water even when the food has been digested. A Person should not eat until he checks if he needs the bathroom. Person should not eat until he has taken a stroll, which is sufficient to raise his body temperature. Yes, or work out, do something else. He should work or exert himself in some other way. The rule is that he should engage his body and exert himself in a sweat-producing task each morning. Afterwards, he should rest slightly until he regains composure, and then he should eat. If he were to bathe in hot water after exerting himself, it would be beneficial. However, as for he should wait a short while to eat. Maybe I'll ask my One should always eat while seated or reclining on his left side. He should not walk about, ride, exert himself, subject his body to starting hooflers, nor take a stroll until the food has been digested in his intestines. Anyone who takes a stroll or exerts himself after eating brings serious and harmful illness upon himself. There are 24 hours in the day. A person should sleep for 8 hours. Should be towards the end of the night, so that there will be 8 hours from the beginning of sleep until sunrise. So he should rise from his bed before sunrise. A person should not sleep on his face, down on his back, but on his side. Outside, you mean. So, in the beginning of the night on his right, then wake up on the left. The opposite. Should not retire shortly after eating. You should wait some 3 or 4 hours. One should not sleep during the day. Both laxative foods such as grapes, figs, mulberries, pears, melons, certain types of cucumbers, and certain types of zucchini should be eaten first for the meal. One should not eat them together with his main meal. Others should wait until it descended from the upper stomach and then eat the meal. Foods which are constipating, such as pomegranates, quinces, apples, this type of pears, should be eaten immediately after the meal and not in quantity. Person who desires to eat poultry and meat in one sitting, you should eat first poultry. If he desires to eat both eggs and poultry, you should eat the eggs first. If he desires to eat both meat of a large cattle and that of small cattle, you should eat the meal of small cattle first. In other words, you should always eat the lighter fare first, and then the heavier afterwards. In the summer, one should eat unseasoned foods without many spices and use vinegar. In the rainy season, one should eat seasoned foods, use many spices, and eat some mustard and filters. One should follow these principles in regards to cold climates and hot climates, choosing the food appropriate to each and every one of them. Test. Some foods that are terrible never to eat. For example, large fish that are aged and salted. Cheese which is aged and salted. Truffles, mushrooms, meat which is aged and salted. Wine from the press. Salted or any food that has a bad smell or very bitter taste. Poison. There's something bad, but not as bad. Eat a little bit, not enough too many days. Don't get accustomed to eating this too much. Getting dog modeling between the cholos shishal achar shnefta chodal shoys ubsar shvarim modeling with tiyashim modeling a poil of adosh vasafra lechem zidim lechem matzis akru b'achatzer b'tzom v'ashuman v'achal v'atzanin kol ilam machal roim him ein rol adam lechem v'hem v'ila elam ma'at ad ma'id misik shamal misik chamul eichel ma'im klav apil v'adosh v'vad and all the lechem misik chamul leim misik shamal leim eichel ma'im misik chamul. Translate: the large fish, cheese, milk, which has been left over 24 hours after the milking, the meat of larger oxen or he-goats, horse beans, lentils, chickpeas, barley bread, matzahs, cabbage, leeks, onions, garlic, mustard, and radishes. All of these are harmful foods. It's fitting that you should eat them not a lot, and only in rainy seasons, staying entirely from the summer. These horse beans and lentils alone should not be eaten either in the summer or the winter. Squash or meat in the summer season. There are foods which are harmful, but less so than these. There are waterfowl and pigeons, days bread roasted in oil and either in oil flour which has been sifted so well so that no brine is left, fish brine and pickled fish oil. They are not to be eaten in quantity. And a man who is wise overcomes his desires, not drawn by his appetite, and eats nothing of these aforementioned unless he needs them for his medical reasons, is a giver. One should always avoid fruits. You should not eat them even when they're dried, and goes without saying when they're fresh. When they are not sufficiently ripe, they are like swords for the body. Calves are always harmful. When calves too are very, very harmful, we said, all pickled fruits are harmful and should be eaten in summer where they're not in high climates. Called circle Yasmid, Achilasam, Afabishaim Tivim, Mikol, Priya. Figs, grapes, and almonds are always beneficial, both fresh and dry. One may eat of them as much as he requires. However, you should not eat them constantly, even though they are the most beneficial of the fruits. Halacha Yod Beis. The Rambam says, honey and wine are harmful for young ones and wholesome for the old. In summer, one should eat 2/3 of what he eats in the winter. The person should always try to have loose movements throughout his life, tending slightly towards the diarrhea. This is a cardinal principle when it comes to the foot. Whenever one suffers from constipation or has difficulty moving his bowel, serious diseases will beset him. How can he induce loose movements if he has mild constipation? Maybe as a young man, each morning you should eat well-cooked, this halami should be seasoned in olive oil, picked fish oil, and salt without bread oil. Or drink the boiled water, or cooked spinach or cabbage, seasoned with olive oil, pickled fish oil, and salt. And when you if he's an old man, he should drink honey diluted with hot water in the morning, wait approximately 4 hours, and then eat his meal. He should do this once a day, or 3 or 4 if necessary, until he has loose bowels. They have another principle that says about the body. As long as one exercises and exerts himself greatly, does not eat into the point of the situation as loose bowels, he will not suffer sickness and he will grow in strength. Even if he eats harmful foods. Whoever is idle and does not exercise or does not move his bowels when he needs a mishmaim of caution, or is constipated, even if he eats the proper foods and takes care of follow the rules of medicine, and he takes care of follows the rules of medicine, it will be full of pain for all his days, and his strength will fade away. Achila kol yomov yomachim v'keichit achila gas l'guf kol adam kamei samulos v'ika l'chol chalim rib chalim shabayim ala adam enim elam pnei chalim rem neishu mamala bitim mecha achila gas afilu machalim tevim shleimer rachmas yishimer piv l'shed yishimer v'sas nafshi klimer shimer piv l'chol ma'chol ra and l'zbeil l'shenim l'daber elabit stachov. Now, overeating is like poison to anyone's body. It is the main source of illness. Most illnesses which afflict men are caused by harmful foods or by filling his belly and overeating, even of healthful foods. This is implied what the Shabbat says. Whoever guards his mouth and his tongue guards his soul from distress, guards his mouth from eating harmful food, or eating his fill, and his tongue from speaking about others that he needs. Tes Zayin. Let's check where it ends over here. We have 23 halachas. Okay, Yud Zayin. When one leaves the bath, he should dress and cover his head in the outer room, the bathhouse, so that he not catch a chill. He should take the precaution even in the summer. Even in the Mesachama, he needs to wear. After leaving the bath, he should wait until he regains his composure and the warmth forbidding has receded, and then eat. And if, after leaving the bath, he should wait until he regains his composure and the warmth, and then eat. Tell me, and now, before eating after the bath is very beneficial. One should not drink cold water while leaving the bath, and it goes without saying that he should not drink while bathing. If he should be thirsty upon leaving the bath and cannot refrain, he should mix the water and wine or drink a honey drink. It's beneficial for one to rub himself with oil at the bath during the winter after he has rinsed off. A person should not accustom himself constant bloodletting. Well, he should only do this if he needs it. He shouldn't do this only in the days of Nisan Tishrei. After 15 years old, don't do it. Don't bloodlet and then go to the bath. That's for the then go on the way. You're traveling, coming from the way. Eat very little. You should eat less than usual on the day of the bloodletting. He should rest on that day, not exert himself nor exercise or stroll. Semen is the strength of the body, it's life force. And the light of the eyes, the greater the emission of sperm, the greater the damage of the body. So strength and it's greater the loss of one's lifespan. Israel says, do not give your strength to a woman. However, steeped in sexual relationships, old age springs upon him. And his strength is depleted by of chaos, and his eyes becomes dim. His emanates from his mouth and his armpits, the hair of his head. And his eyebrows, his eyelashes fall out. His armpits, his legs, grows in abundance. His teeth fall out. He has many sicknesses. Which says that most people, they die from tashbut. Be very careful if you want to live a long life. You should not engage in relations on a full or empty stomach, but after the food has been digested. Should examine himself to see if he needs to move his bowels before and after intercourse. So So leave it a full day shiva leivul adam who savia leirav el achar shisaka masan shmev. Usually we call kedim v'gila al achar b'level even woman leib b'yishuv. Leib b'yis and rechts leib b'yim shikas rechts leib b'yim because leib b'yim yitzil derech b'yim derech leib the flame le'acharim. Should not engage in intercourse on a full empty stomach. He should examine himself before to see if he needs to move his bowels before and after bia. He should not engage in intercourse while standing, sitting, or in the bathhouse, nor on the day in which he goes to the bathhouse, nor on the day in which he lets blood, on the day that he departs on a journey or arrives from a journey, nor on the day before and afterwards. But if the Rambam says whoever conducts himself in this way, I guarantee that he will not become ill throughout his life till he reaches advanced age and dies. He's not going to need a doctor. His body will remain intact and healthy throughout the days. Unless his body was bad. Let's say he has all these bad manhagim from the beginning, or if let's say he has a plague or drown in the world. The person who should do it is only a healthy person. If somebody who's sick or has this bad or whatever, so there's different books, different medical literature about this, all changes from the conduct which only follows the beginning of the sickness. There's no doctor available, neither the healthy nor the sick man should budge from all the directions here in this chapter, for each of them ultimately brings beneficial results. Last halacha. If a city doesn't have these type of things, Talmid Chacham cannot live there. A doctor, a bloodletter, a bathhouse, a ladder, and an available source of water, such as a river or a spring, a synagogue, a teacher of children, a scribe, a charity supervisor, a rabbinical court empowered to impose corporal punishment and jail sentences. Hilchos Deot Perek. Hey, 5. Shem sha'achachim nikar b'chachmasiv b'diyosov v'umudom b'hem mishar kach tzarav sheyeh nikar b'maisov ma'acholim mashkeu v'ilasiv v'asistarachav v'diburi v'ilochay u'ma'bushei u'machilku dvarim maso u'matanasim. Just as a chacham is recognized through his wisdom and his temperaments, and at these he stands apart from the rest of the world, so too he should be recognized through his actions and his eating and drinking, intimate relations, relieving himself in a speech, manner, walking, and dress, in the management of his finances and his business dealings. All these actions should be exceptionally becoming of a befitting. Should all be nice and befitting. He said also, Talmid Chacham should not be a glutton, rather he should eat food which will keep his body. He should not also overeat. Should not seek to fulfill his stomach like those who fill stuff themselves with food and drink until their bellies burst. It says in Kabbalah, and eat and drink, for tomorrow you will die. This is like it says, they eat and drink for tomorrow. Yeah, this is the food of the wicked. It's these tables which the pasuk says, for all tables are full of vomit. Next one, there's no room. A wise man eats only one dish or two, eating it only enough to sustain himself. This is sufficient for him. This is alluded. The Shlomo says the righteous man eats to satisfy his soul. When the wise man eats the little which is fitting for him, he should eat it only in his home and at his table. He should not eat it in the store or in the marketplace, lest there's a very pressing need. He's got it so that he should not be viewed without respect for others. Should not eat together with the unlearned, nor at those tables that are filled with vomit and excrement. Should not eat frequently in other places, even in the company of wise men. Should not eat where there is a large gathering. For example, so this is an engagement or a marriage. As long as the couple are Talmud Chacham is marrying a Bas Talmud Chacham. The righteous and the pious of old never partook of a meal that was not their own. When a wise man drinks wine, he should drink only enough to soften the food in his stomach. Whoever becomes drunk as a sinner is shameful and will lose his wisdom. He becomes drunk before the common people. He desecrates Hashem's name. It's forbidden to drink wine, even in small quantities, in the afternoon hours, unless he eats it with food. Drink that is taken without food is not intoxicating. The only one that is taken after the meal is to be avoided. Although a man's wife is permitted to him all times, it's fitting that a wise man behave with holiness. He should not frequent his wife like a rooster. Rather, he should limit his relationships to once a week, from Shabbos evening to Shabbos evening, if he has the physical stamina. When he speaks with her, he should not do so at the beginning of the night, when he's sated with his belly is full. Only in the middle of the night when his food has been digested. He should not be excessively lightheaded, nor should he talk nonsense, even intimate conversations with his wife. It says, and he repeats to a man what he has spoken. Even the light conversation that he has with his wife, he's gonna have to take let's go to Bedin when he dies. Time of the relations, they should not drink nor be lax in tents, or even one of them. She should be sleeping. And it's a little bit has to be both wanted. He should intimidate and to be intimate with her modestly and not boldly, and withdraw from her immediately. Hey, call a name meaning zeh with dietly she kaddish if you kiddish staff with your asking taking the issue. Shmai one of you know by Shem Ruin Chachma Chasidus. Whoever conducts himself in this manner, not only does he sanctify his soul, purify himself, and refine his character, but furthermore, if he has children, they will be handsome and modest, worthy of wisdom and piety. Whoever conducts himself in the ways of the rest of the people, or walk in darkness, will have children like these people. A Chacham conduct himself with exceptional modesty. They go from they do not demean themselves, and they not bear their heads or their bodies. Even when one enters the ladder, and he should be modest and not uncover himself until he is seated. He should not wipe himself with his right hand. He should stay away from all the people. He should go into the chamber, beyond the chamber, with a cave, and relieve himself. If he relieves himself by the fence, he should move far enough away that no one can hear the sound if he breaks in. He must relieve himself in an open area. He should be far enough so that no one can see or bearing himself. Don't speak and basically should one not speak one should not speak while relieving himself, even if there's a great need. Just as he conducts himself with modesty while on the land by day, he should do so by night. Adam asked me to punish shachas or hours for that. A person should train himself to relieve himself in the early morning, after it dark only, so that he doesn't need to go far away. Tam l'chachim liyatzig v'tzivil b'shas tivurik v'yeh b'shachayis. Tam l'chachim should not shout or shriek while speaking like the cattle and the wild beast. Like be a kid of Yisrael, the word of nachas and kobres. Nor should he raise his voice overly much. Rather, he should speak gently to all people. When he should speak gently, he should not take a stance, lest speech appear like the speech of haughty. And he should say hi to everybody first. Judge people favorably. Speak the miles of a person. He loves peace, he pursues peace. If he feels what he says will help, good. If not, keep quiet. Don't appease somebody when he's angry. I'll need to pursue another. I can describe that to him. Don't ask him as another until he comes down. They show ball. Don't try to be menachem with somebody when he has the mess right in front of him. It was a should not look at his fellow at the moment of his humiliation, but turn his attention away. Don't change your words. Don't change anything unless it's shalom. Call this dover. And whatever they do the chachma, I will do the chachma. We will suddenly get about the guiding rule is that he should speak only words of wisdom or connection with his acts of kindness. He should not speak to a woman in the marketplace, even if it's his wife or his sister or his daughter. Chacham should not erect with his head held high, as it says in the walk with necks outstretched and flashing eyes. He should not walk with a short step toe to toe, heel like a woman of the proud. Walking and mincing as they go, tinkling with their feet. Run in public, they're madmen, like Mishigain do. Should not bend over like a hunchback. Walk in the market like should cast his eyes downwards as he does, like when he davens. Going into the market like he's busy. The person, the way he walks, you could tell if he's normal or not. From a man's carriage to one can recognize whether he is wise and thoughtful, person and mindful or will. The statement says in the rule too, when the fool's walks, his mind is empty and he proclaims to all that he is a fool. He informs everyone about himself that he is a fool. This Malbish Talmud Chacham, Malbish Nomer Nuki. Talmud Chacham has to dress nicely. He can't have any fat stain or anything from the garment. He should not wear a regal garment close to gold and purple, which draw everyone's attention. The dress of the poor shames its awareness, but attractive garments in the middle range. The absurd near Matachas Madov, big the Apish and Akalan Bisha Shasim Mitzrayim. Flesh should not be visible under his clothing, as in the case when one wears except for the sheer linen garment for this Mitzrayim. His clothes should not drag on the ground like the dress of the haughty, but should extend to the heel, and his sleeves should extend to his fingers. You should not let his cloak hang down, for that creates an impression of gaiva, except on Shabbos if he has no change of clothes. Much of certain reason, the Havers, Azuma Motor, can lead to Hilly Balala and Kin, but his man cool, this is by the time they call their son. Should not go out in the marketplace perfumed or with perfumed clothes, nor should he put perfumes on his hair. However, he is permitted to rub perfume on his body if he does so in order to remove his filth. He should not go out alone at night unless he has time to go out for studies. All of these is because of possible suspicion of immorality. Talmud Chacham manages his financial affairs. He eats, drinks, and provides for his household in accordance with his funds and the degree of success without overtaxing himself. And the person should eat meat only for his appetite. It says, your soul should crave to eat meat. Sufficient for the healthy to eat meat once weekly from Shabbos to Shabbos. He's wealthy enough, he should eat meat every day. The Chacham have also directed us, saying that one should always eat less and benefits his income, dressed as benefits his income, and provide for his wife and children beyond what benefits his income. The way of a sensible man is that first one should establish an occupation in which he can support himself, and then he can be seated then buy a house, and then he should then marry. The Timshin they marry first, and then he can buy, then they buy a house, and then because of the He's punishment and stuff, and then they try to find a parnasa, and or they go and just take from stuff. Don't do the opposite. And David was thoughtful in all his undertakings, and Hashem was with him. It was also the one is forbidden to renounce ownership or confiscate all of his possessions and thereby become a burden to society. The imker something you can advise for the bias you can without the yes, the straight with basic. You should not sell a field and buy a house, sell a house and buy chattels, or use money acquired by selling his house for the trade. For me, for whom without the kin is soda, should sell cattle to buy his field. Kolel shall dover. Rules that should aim to improve his financial position and to exchange the impermanent for the permanent. His intention should not be to enjoy slight momentary pleasure or to enjoy some slight pleasure for which he incurs a great loss. Torah scholar should conduct his business. This is dealing honesty and good faith. And he should say alav lav and hein, yes, yes, no, no. Tactical aspect could be him. He is strict with himself in his accounting, gives and yields to others when he buys from them, but is not demanding what they owe him. He pays for his purchases immediately, doesn't act as a guarantor, accepts objects for deposit, or acts as a debt collector for lender. Accepts obligation matters of buying and selling for which the Torah does not hold him liable. To hold his words. He does not encroach upon other occupations, nor does he ever cause someone discomfort. He doesn't go into somebody's business. Indicates when Allah because of It's not encroach upon other occupations, nor does he ever cause someone's discomfort. The rule is that he should be amongst the pursued, not the pursuers, amongst those who accept humiliation, but not amongst those who humiliate others. Whoever does all the above and their like, it says that he said to me, you are my servant Israel, through whom I will be glorified.